What is going on, guys? It is Wrestlelamia here, back with some more news. Join us now as we look at the wildest news stories and rumors you need to know, including Alexa Bliss's life in danger, WWE has ended the brand split, NXT Superstar Injured, Kurt Angle undergoes major surgery, a former WWE Money in the Bank winner retires, and much more. Be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell for daily wrestling videos and follow us on Facebook for exclusive lists. Also check out Wrestlelamia.co.uk and our non-wrestling channel, Incredible. But now let's hit the intro and get straight into our first story. Now, first story looks at Alexa Bliss's life in danger. Atop of the news today is a disturbing story concerning a so-called fan threatening to shoot WWE Superstar Alexa Bliss and her husband Ryan Cabrera. The alleged threats were made on Bliss's Instagram account after she posted a notice about an upcoming charity event. The account posted a number of rambling messages, including some of the following: Alexa Bliss, so you can't stop me there. What are you gonna do? Put a restraining order on me? That's not gonna work, cause you can't do that, sweetheart. Nice try though. I'm still going to talk to your ex Matt. You can't stop me to talk to him. Hell, he has a better woman than you, and you can't stop that. He wrote another message. Plus, for your information, I took my daughter Bliss stuff, including that dumbass doll of yours. I burned everything of your merchandise. My daughter doesn't know, and you can't stop that. So I should have sent you the video. Ha ha ha. Well, Alexa eventually responded saying, I do have something to say. I saw the DM you sent to people saying you were going to shoot me and my husband yourself. Those screenshots have been turned in. Now, hopefully the situation will be taken seriously, as the 2020 home invasion of WWE superstar Sonya Deville showed that stalkers are not to be taken lightly. The individual who has repeatedly stalked and harassed wrestlers at the WWE Performance Center is another example of how these individuals often slip through the cracks despite restraining orders and arrests. I mean, some fans just really take wrestling too far, don't they? Next up, WWE ends the brand split. More rumours and speculation that the WWE brand split is done. Of course, if fans had $1 for every time they heard the WWE was discontinuing its separate rosters, they'd have enough money to buy front row seats for WrestleMania. Actually, no, that shit is expensive. However, recent booking has Figure 4 Online's Brian Alvarez thinking the WWE brand split is all but finished. Alvarez discussed the situation on Wrestling Observer Radio, saying, "This isn't anything official, but the brand extension is essentially done. Half of the Raw crew is going to be on SmackDown Friday. Cody's going to be there, I think Seth is going to be there, Edge doing whatever, and it makes for a better show, as we mentioned 1,000 times. Now, it's worth mentioning that while some of the Raw stars are scheduled to appear on SmackDown, there's no word that they'll be wrestling on SmackDown. The WWE has been using stars from opposing brands in dark matches, so we'll have to wait and see who shows up. The brand split seems to be on shaky ground, as seen by the WWE's decision to not only unify its WWE and Universal Championship, but the Raw and SmackDown Tag Team Championships. While this doesn't mean that the brand split is over, as WWE's Unified World Championship and Unified Tag Team Championships before, it does open the door for more appearances between SmackDown and Raw stars on opposite shows. At the same time, fans have also heard how the USA Network and Fox don't want their shows being marginalized by booking on the other brands. For example, USA executives reportedly lost their minds last year when the WWE booked a Hell in a Cell match on SmackDown between Reigns and Rey Mysterio, rumour having it led to the WWE booking a Hell in a Cell match on Raw just to appease USA Network executives. USA and Fox executives have also complained in the past about one show having more main eventers than the other. Interestingly, some fans have observed that while SmackDown has the undisputed world champion and now the tag team champions, Raw seems to have more talent on its roster. The WWE has never let the brand split get in the way of stars from one show popping up on the other. Whether it was the NXT invasion or the WWE wildcard rule, a rule that no one has yet to figure out, superstars have worked into brand rivalries besides the traditional Survivor Series competitions. While both Raw and SmackDown have enough wrestlers to sustain separate brands, although SmackDown is operating with a skeleton crew, having wrestlers make occasional crossovers seemed like a good way to pop ratings and make USA and Fox executives happy. What do you guys think though? Is WWE better without a brand split? Let us know in the comments down below. Next up, an NXT Superstar Injured. There's bad news for rising star Nikita Lyons, as she was forced out of NXT 2.0's NXT Breakout tournament due to what is being described as a freak injury suffered in training. Lyons, who was scheduled to wrestle Fallon Henry in their tournament's semi-finals round, bowed out, with wrestler Tiffany Stratton talking her way into the match. There's no word on Lyons' condition, but we will continue monitoring the situation. Lyons has received considerable kudos from her fans for her work in the ring, and the 22-year-old looks to have a promising future ahead. Next up, a deleted segment on Raw. Now if you're wondering why Mustafa Ali was on this week's edition of Raw, well, Fightful Select recently noted that a segment involving Ali and Austin Theory didn't make the cut due to timing issues. The Patreon account also mentioned that the WWE plans on continuing the current program between Ali and The Miz. A program between The Miz and Mustafa could be good for Ali, especially if the WWE presents him as a true challenge to the WWE's A-lister, both in the ring and on the microphone. Next up, Kurt Angle undergoes major surgery. There's good and bad news concerning WWE Hall of Famer Kurt Angle. The bad news is that Angle underwent major surgery to fix both knees, but the good news is that the surgery went well, and true to his nature, the Olympic gold medalist is ready for what's next. The Hall of Famer recently updated fans on his recent operation, tweeting, "Thank you for all your prayers and best wishes for my 2 knee replacement surgeries today. So far so good. I realize rehab is going to be a bitch, but I'm ready for it. If I won a gold medal with a broken freaking neck, I can handle this." It's true, thank you all. Angle's knee replacement surgery comes as no surprise, as the 13-time world champion has put his body through the ringer both during his Olympic wrestling run and his time in the WWE, New Japan, AAA, and TNA Wrestling. Our Wrestling News' Andrew Ravens provided some details on wrestling's Olympic heroes' plans. Angle had been planning since at least last month to get both of his knees replaced. He said that he wanted to get it over with and will be in a wheelchair or on a walker while he rehabs. We're sending out our thoughts and prayers to Kurt Angle for a fast and full recovery. Next up, a WWE star getting a new gimmick. Is Imperium member Fabian Aichner being repackaged with a new name and gimmick? Well, that's the question being posed after a vignette aired on NXT. Paul Davis of Wrestling News is reporting the vignette included a video shot in Venice, Italy, and shots of a well-dressed man with a focus on his fashion sense. His face was never shown, so it's supposed to be a mystery, but there's a lot of speculation that this is actually a former NXT Tag Team Champion. Davis went on to say that Fabian Aichner, who's been seen in many weeks since Gunther and Ludwig Kaiser moved up to the main roster, is the person who is likely being repackaged as Giovanni Vinci. Aichner was born in Italy, and there's been talk of dropping the Imperium aspects of his gimmick. Our fans hoping for an Imperium reunion on SmackDown may be disappointed, but if Aichner is getting a new gimmick, it means that WWE is still interested in utilizing him rather than wishing him well on his future endeavors. And finally, a former WWE Money in the Bank winner retires. And last but not least, it looks like 73-year-old Ric Flair isn't the only wrestler planning on working their last match. 39-year-old Aaron Stevens, aka former WWE Superstar Damien Sandow, broke the sad news via Instagram. This match against Trevor Murdoch at Always Ready, my swan song as it were, not only marks the finale of an unparalleled wrestling career, but the dawn of a new age. When I first left wrestling, the business experienced one of the biggest lulls in its history. As Stevens, perhaps best known for his role as The Miz's stunt double, worked in the WWE on 2 separate occasions before his 2016 release. Stevens is clearly having fun with his last match, as he closed out his message by saying, "Since returning, my presence has not only proven a blessing to fans everywhere, but the entire industry has been better off because I was a part of it. After June 11th, I will keep the wrestling fans, all staff, the competitors, and the entire industry in my thoughts and prayers going forward as it will proceed without me. Thank you." But there you have it, folks, the wildest news stories and rumors you need to know. Be sure to leave your comments down below, and I'll see you next time with some more wrestling content.